Usually there will be one of three reactions to any change. There will be resistance, or there will be compliance, or there will be commitment. The type of leader you are will determine the reaction. Resistance will probably happen if you are a taskmaster, and will most certainly happen if you are an unleader. You may have compliance if you are a taskmaster, where they will comply out of fear, or you may have compliance if you are a comrade, perhaps out of loyalty. And while you think you want compliance, what you really want is commitment. With commitment, you will have compliance, and it will be because the staff have buy-in. If you are a motivator and you can motivate change, they will commit to change. Okay. Now, for a program to operate well, the manager-leader combination must work in tandem. The managing part of you will pinpoint problems. The leader in you should promote objective decision-making. The manager in you will identify what is going well and maintain that organizational wellness. And both sides work together to promote a norm of continuous improvement. An atmosphere of continuous improvement is a result of your leadership, while putting systems in place to monitor that improvement is where managing comes in. If you have reached that perfect marriage of leader and manager, then you have become a master director. Note the list of traits that depict that union. The master director will implement hiring practices that maximize a good fit. They are looking for others that will promote the same philosophies and have the same visions. She will implement fair and equitable policies and procedures, realizing that staff morale can be compromised if fairness is not instilled. She will know the value of individual staff development. The master director will promote open discussion about ethical issues. She communicates respect for staff in small and important ways. She instills norms of continuous improvement and keeps the staff focused. She promotes shared decision-making. She helps staff understand the emotional limits of their work, and she will educate parents about the costs of quality programming. Remember that others are watching you. Consider this list of questions and ask yourself how your staff would answer them about you. Are you worth following? Are you worth listening to? Are you smart? Are you fair? Are you credible? Do I have confidence in you? Are you making a contribution? Do you have any backbone? Do you care? Do you have a hidden agenda? And do I trust you? You cannot make anyone follow your lead. Leadership is a trust issue. Consistency of action and decision-making tells your team that you have a plan in place and that your head is in the game. Conviction tells your team that you believe in what you are doing and that your heart is in the game. There are a number of to-bes to help you on your way. You want to be realistic. Don't frustrate yourself with unrealistic expectations. Be aware of the shoulds. The word should only be used in a should do it right now tense. Otherwise, you are blamed for not doing what should have been done. Be yourself. Know who you are. Know what you are capable of and what you are not. Be consistent. If you are unpredictable, this is confusing to your staff. It's important to be decisive. Don't take forever to make decisions, and don't be inconsistent with those decisions. Solicit ideas, yes, but make decisions without ambiguity or apology. Make clear expectations that will hold up over time. Changing expectations from one month to another results in confusion and unwillingness of the staff to follow through. Staff also need to know that you are there as a resource of last resort. You can point people in the right direction. Be a goal setter. Focus your attention and the staff's attention on the goals. Why do contractors use blueprints? Because blueprints are the expectations down to the last inch of how something will be built. Why do orchestras use sheet music? Because sheet music illustrates the exact notes that the musicians are expected to play so that pleasing harmonies and beautiful melodies are achieved. It is a wise manager who sets very clear expectations on conduct, reporting and feedback, outcomes and deliverables, consequences, budget, etc. Be a feedback giver. Praise gives impact on the staff, but objective feedback gives the staff data to use. The more they know about their own performance, the more they are able to adjust it toward accepted performance standards. Be a delegator. When employees assume responsibility, they feel more significant. If you are a super doer and you jump in too early, not allowing your staff to resolve issues, then your staff feels that they're not needed. Remember, a leader leads. Be a facilitator. Give your staff what they need to get the job done. Be communicative. Do not overrate the effectiveness of downward communication. Be sure that everyone gets information. Be visible. Be involved in day-to-day life. An absent director does not help your credibility. Increase your presence. You don't need to spend long periods of time in the classrooms, but the more staff see you on the floor, the more you notice and acknowledge, the more they will believe you are in touch with what is going on. And lastly, be open to feedback. Know how you are perceived by others. Listen carefully to feedback. Offer written performance ratings of yourself. Another quote by an unknown author. Effective leaders motivate people not by the answers they give, but rather by the questions they ask. Interesting thought. It allows people to come to an understanding on their own. In conclusion, I hope that you have come to be able to identify the traits of a good leader and can identify which of these traits you have. We have discussed when to use each trait and when to use management skills versus leadership skills. And we have learned that the leadership style of a director will affect the overall tone of the program and the commitment of the staff. A positive leadership status will improve the environment of the program, the work that your staff does, and ultimately will affect the quality of care of the children and their families. Who is the effective boss? The effective boss is one who possesses a high concern for influencing people toward the benefit of the organization. And one final quote, leadership is not an event, it's a lifestyle, and one that it is hoped becomes ingrained in every administrator. Thanks for joining us today. This concludes the presentation portion of the session. Be sure to check for any further required assignments.